Coming to you live from the top floor of the OBB Corporate Tower in downtown Coral Gables. You're listening to the top-rated American football podcast in countries that don't play American football. Ain't that some shit? These are the Orange Bowl Boys.
Brought to you by Ed Morse. Join the over 2 million people that are backed by Morse. Visit edmorse.com.
Here's Toast, Roman, and Scoop.
Welcome to the Mario era, chapter 55.
Cinco di Mario, it's a Mario, I lost the Cormani. Boop, 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 boop. Hi, boys.
What's
to surprise anybody?
Not really.
If you listen to the show, shouldn't surprise. I don't know why anyone who's hanging around shouldn't surprise anybody. That's not how this works.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way. It's not like we've been doing this a long time. We watched this a long time. That's not how things like that go. I mean, that is how it goes, but it's not how you wanted it to go, which we told you wasn't going to go that way. This way.
Put it this way. Some of us knew the minute that there was that picture of just the cake that, yeah, going to be seeing this for the next 20 years. Going to be seeing this for the next 20 fucking years, this goddamn cake.
It rivals the Bart Simpson gif when it says, like, at least you tried, and he takes the cake and he throws it in the trash. That Bart Simpson's cake and the Cormani McLean cake are on equal footing now. Equal footing. Fantastic.
Our timeline was littered, and I couldn't even get rid of it. Like, it was so much of it. You can't even mute enough things or enough people for it to go away. So unfortunately, I caught a glimpse of the, I don't know whether it was an announcement or I'm not really sure how that whole thing went down, but the guy who kind of like spearheaded the announcement kind of thing and like got on the ground and was like, what was that? Like, what on earth are you doing as a grown man? Like, what the hell is going on?
People get
Anybody
excited.
know?
Well, see, people
Anybody know
get
what that
excited
was?
over
I have no
commitments, and then they lose their mind over decommitments while somebody's extremely happy. Now I got to give credit to Dion, right? This is his second year in a row where he's got the number one cornerback in the country, right? Now this is Travis Hunter, and then you turn around and you get Cormani McLean. It's a good coup. This is a nice coup for him. I'll touch more on the Miami side when we head on over to the Green Tree, but before that happens, how you boys doing?
Dude, fucking what a week, bro. Anyone else have just a week from hell?
Having a great day.
Yeah.
Well, today's capping it off. But if you're Dion, you should be able to do that.
Well, I think that's the thing
No?
now. I think calling it a coup, I think what everyone needs to come to expect now is that if Dion wants the number one cornerback every year, Dion gets the number one cornerback every year. And if you're listen, and here's the reality.
Give me a couple of years.
Dion has about 3 or 4 cycles of this because he has to develop those guys and have them be everything at the next level, or else that's going to end very quickly. So yes, it's a honeymoon period right now, if you will. And I'll say the same thing when it comes to, he got Travis and then he gets Cormani. And it was easy. Listen, when you only had to get a handful of big-time recruits to be able to make a huge impact at Jackson, that's not the case at the Pac-12.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to they're going to get their asses handed to them this year. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, not going 10-2. Like, so we're going to see how he better be able to win games quickly, or these 5 stars aren't going to want to, the shine's going to rub off of Prime real quick. So we'll see. He has put, that's why I think that's why he went to Colorado over South Florida. I think it was because that was the Power 5 offer.
I believe so. Are we going to the Green Tree?
Should we go to Green Tree? Was that part of Green Tree? I don't know.
Oh,
hey, listen. Dion finally beat Miami.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to segue to see if anything was going on personally, and Scoop totally was like, "Nah, let's just keep talking about Dion."
What do you want me to talk about? No, I got nothing. No.
Let's go.
No, I'm trying to avoid another stone. That's the personal story today. Isn't it great?
Line 72. Line 800.
Let's go. Let's go.
Also, yeah, man. So the worst kept secret happened. Cormani ends up spurning Mario, and the Canes going to be going to Colorado.
Why are you trying to make my pain public here, Ro?
Because later on, when we name that episode, and people need to understand where the title comes from, and it was said prior to the show even starting. So that's, in case you were wondering, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Well, I don't even know what was said earlier. You already know?
No,
Okay.
no, later on. Be quiet about it now. You don't have to divulge it. But then later on, when we do the show title and I tell you it's the show title and you laugh about it, then we'll all laugh about it. So I used interesting words this morning on the wake up at the OBB Legend. I said on the social media tweet, I'm like, it kind of tarnishes Mario's sterling reputation. It was a little bit of a play on words. I still think Mario's a great recruiter. But boys, he lost the number one recruit in this class. I know it came with a circus. It wasn't your traditional recruitment. Remember, him even committing to the University of Miami was the pundits at 24/7 had a video talking about his commitment to Florida Gators and ran it as he's committing to Miami. So none of this ever made sense. However, the decommitment took University of Miami out of the top 5. And I said, and I had to go ahead and deduct some points from Mario Cristobal because I'm like, Mario Cristobal doesn't have that exo prowess. He's not that guy. He's not that coach. He's an offensive line coach by trade with a hellacious recruiting background. And I'm like, this is what he's being paid handsomely to do, to wrap up this style of circus and be the recruiter to close those deals. To me, it was the equivalency of being in the college football playoff, but recruiting. It's a 5-star. You're trying to get the deal done. He lost. So I think it deserves the hit. You're not in the top 5 anymore. Still a great class. Still a great class. But Mario, you took a little hit from me recruiting-wise.
I disagree. So here's my thing. Good. Sorry. So here's my thing. All right.
Yeah, I do too.
I understand. I totally understand where you're coming from. I saw this as a different way. I saw this as a great way in year 1, cycle number 2, year 1 though. I guess we're going into year 2. Of dispelling the delusion of this fan base that Mario is the recruiting god and can do no wrong. Bro, these are 18-year-old kids. And you want to know, if you want to know who I feel bad for in this situation, it's DVD. That's who I feel bad for because it would have been a nice feather in his cap and he got used. Whatever. We've been talking about the fact for the last handful of years how Manny would get used by these big-time recruits to leverage situation, whatever it was. And we would take shots at him for it. And not saying that this was the same situation leverage-wise, but the fact that Mario went up there and landed a 5-star and was only able to hold him for 45 days before he flipped and lost him, it will dispel the cockiness and the whole Mario's going to get 95% of his guys. But this happens to everybody. So I'm not going to take a hit on his recruiting because, I mean, dude, this happens to Saban. This happens to Kirby. Like, this happens to everybody. So I'm not going to, it's still a top 10 class.
But aren't you proving my point? You said this happens to everybody. This is going to take him away from that God star
status. Well, I think that he was, that's what he was never
saying.
In that, is what I'm saying. Is that as a fan base, we elevated him into that. But no coach is that. These are 18-year-old kids, man. Everyone's getting used and abused from time to time.
Now, I'm disagreeing with your disagreement. How is he not in that great class when at Oregon he's responsible for their greatest recruiting classes ever in the history?
Bro, but it doesn't mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you're hitting 100%.
I agree.
He's hitting 95%. That means that leaves room that there's always going to be Cormani McLean's. And it's true for every coach. So I'm not going to I'm not going to give him a mark down in his recruiting prowess, because now if this happens every year that he gets the top 5-star to sign and then within 45 days loses him, then it'll start being a knock on him personally, but not this time. No.
Scoopy.
Team went 5-7. You signed 2 other 5 stars. You signed a number 7 recruiting class in the country. Yeah, you lost a guy. You lost. You know what you didn't lose? You didn't lose the top offensive lineman in Cormani fashion. You lost the top corner to the best corner to ever play. And that changes things a little bit for me. It's not a random flip. It's just different, right? Deion's not doing that with, the number 1 left tackle in the country, right? He didn't come in and flip Pancake, Honcho, right? It's different. If Mario loses the top tackle in the country in that fashion, that's a hit. That's a big hit because that's his bread and butter. He can recruit the entire team, but his bread and butter is the trenches. So there are facets to this. There are layers to the onion, so to speak, when it comes to who you lost, how you lost it, who you lost him to, when you lost him. It's just a little bit different. So not everybody's going to get everybody, or not one guy's going to. Is he a top 3 recruiter in the country? So I'm kind of like in between the two of you. He is a top 3 recruiter in the country, in my opinion, without question. Top 5, right? There's some other guys have really kind of stepped up a little bit, but top 5. He doesn't get everybody. He didn't get everybody who wanted at Oregon. He was still top 3 then, right? So he's not going to get everybody he wants here, just because it was a circus. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be dead on. I would have liked him on the team prior to that, in seeing the circus that he enjoys being a part of. I'm glad he didn't end up on the team.
And that was hard to watch.
Just kind of my take on it.
That was hard to watch too, because he's a private kid. He doesn't like to do interviews. It's amazing how unprivate he got as soon as he got around Prime.
It's such hooey.
Yeah. It's funny that you said something, Scoop, and I want to piggyback off that. Deion wasn't able to get the 5-star away from Mario. Mario wasn't able to get the 5-star corner away from Deion. I think ultimately that's going to be potentially Deion's downfall out there. Is he going to be able to recruit the offensive line necessary out there? Is he going to be able to resonate in that part of the country? He can resonate with corners. He was a corner. Mario can resonate with the offensive lineman. So that's intriguing. In terms of Deion, how in the world, when Cormani's like, I'm not signing today, he's able to tag the kid and say, I'm not hard to find. Like, and then with the enticements of some NIL, like how much illegal shit NCAA are you just going to allow to just willy-nilly? That's like the 3rd show in a row I've used that term. You can't do that. If our coach did that and said, I'm not hard to find publicly, you're not allowed to tag these kids and talk to them directly. I know that's sour grapes. It's such a small thing, Ro, but I'm telling you, he's got a little bit more of a longer leash. You're going to be able to see
Mario
it.
can't do that.
Mario can't do that. Deion's able. You're telling me if there was an offensive lineman that was like on the fence with Deion and Mario turns around and says, hey, I'm not hard to find, and specifically tags that kid, you don't think that's – oh, come on now. Deion's Deion. Good. Hey, great player, number 1 corner in the country. Good for you, Deion. He's not a bad player. He's a great player. Good for you. Good for you, Cormani. See you on the flip side.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, what do you guys think over under 3 years Deion has Colorado at what, 10 wins?
No.
Cannot believe we're still talking about this.
No.
All right, we're gonna have to talk about it then.
That first schedule is horrible.
But dude, I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna. I don't
5 or 0 and 6.
I don't think he's gonna last 4 years. I think he's gonna get fired from there.
I think it's going to be fun while it lasted. I think it's a fun little circus. I'm telling you, it's going to come back to the offensive line recruiting. I don't know how well he's going to be able to do it. Is he going to be able to resonate with the Midwest offensive line kids? Because that's one of the big strengths, right? You go neighboring Midwest, and they usually have a core group of offensive linemen. Are you going to be able to pull that? I mean, because the way you acted to those kids in the locker room coming in there, the kids, your trench bullies, hey, you guys get the F out. We don't need you. We don't need you. You're out. You're out. You're out. You're out. Okay. It's a different style of an offensive line you need to get when you're in the pack, when you're out there. You think you're going to beat Lincoln Riley with Travis Hunter and Cormani McLean as your corners? Oh, come on now. I just don't see it happening on the field. I see it happening with recruits. I just think he's going to have some, holes in the Death Star, if you will.
Do we know how long his contract's for?
I don't know.
Colorado was smart. They would have probably put it for like 10 years because they need Deion to be successful because they've been such a doormat.
Did I see a video of our favorite tight end coach is now there at Colorado?
Yes. What
what the fuck was that?
It was so fabricated. It was so false. It's like, come on, dude. Nobody does that in real life anymore. Oh my goodness.
Sit up, sit down. All right, so let's talk about something. Let's talk about the shit. So we had a staff change since our last episode, and longtime Miami dude and friend of Mario, Frank Ponce, quarterback coach for the Canes, has now left and gone back for, I guess, now going to be his third stint at App State, and he will be the offensive coordinator there. So obviously and that's the only announcement that was made. So obviously a coaching slot has opened up, and now it opens up all these possibilities. Now, I personally know nothing, but I don't see this as being the only offensive change. I think that this doesn't happen unless Gaddis is going to be going somewhere, because I think you're going to switch. I think you're switching titles around at some point. OCQB and a wide receiver coach, maybe.
I think exactly. I think you're onto something. I have a feeling. I think the OCQB thing makes sense moving forward, and I think you're going to have an independent wide receiver coach that's going to come in here. That's just where my guess is. But yeah, Ponce still a gone. He's
still a gone.
Yeah, he's going back to App State, going back to where Blaine taught me how to do a pizza and fall and break my ribs. Fuck you, Blaine. Anyways, just wanted to get that out of my system for longtime listeners. You know exactly what I'm talking about there. It's moves yet to come. I believe we're onto it. We know it's about to happen. Gaddis has not been seen with players. He's not on these recruiting visits. He's not there. I kind of have it on good authority. There's like a wide receiver kind of like trip today. They're all hanging out and somebody's missing. So you can put two and two together.
Look, there's a very big weekend this weekend down there. So I mean, it's nothing's been said. Obviously, we've hinted at our thoughts and our beliefs. But if he's not there this weekend, I don't know what else we can say.
Now, we've been having some healthy debate in Discord.
If he's there this weekend,
yeah, he's here.
I'll be shocked and completely pissed off.
If he's here, I think it's to pack
this
up his
weekend.
office.
He shows up and he's carried in on like a bed and like he's a king.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, like an entrance.
Everybody be feeding grapes.
If he's absent, this is just speculative at best. Just follow us along this rabbit hole. If he's absent, what is he doing currently? What is your belief? He's not been around. That is confirmed. We could tell you when it's confirmed and when we're speculating. Confirmed, he hasn't been around the program. Confirmed. Speculative.
Birthday.
Where do you think he's been?
Fucking therapy. You've seen social media, bro. I mean, come on. How do you see social media let you on fire like that and not have it affect you mentally?
I will tell you what, one of the biggest disappointments in the history of this show is if he leaves town and we're still on the unblocked list.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't gone hard at it.
I wrote an article calling for him to be fired mid-season.
It's true. Yeah. Still not
I think he's applying for other jobs.
Well, I would hope he already has one lined up.
Yeah. I don't know. We've had this, and you were going to talk about this, Roy. You were going to say we have had some heated debates and discussions and healthy discussions in Discord at OBB Legend. And that's true. I've even been in there. So It's like this is some big time stuff going on in there. And I would tend to believe, me personally, and I've put this in there, that that's part of the equation, that maybe that's not quite wrapped up yet. But that's speculating.
Yeah. We're not insinuating anything. Not confirmed. We'll tell you what's confirmed, not confirmed.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
What?
What's your over-under number for points per game for App State next year?
31.
I was going to say 32.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. 100%.
He was like 15th in the country. They were like top 20. I put that in there.
You don't think he can score with App State? 100%.
I do want to credit Mario there, right? I do want to credit Mario because there was a lot of talk about, hey, they were going to go for Gaddis and he's the natural incumbent. And I never felt that was the power move that the University of Miami needed to do, right? I didn't think that was it, right? Look what Clemson just did. Clemson wins 11 games. They score 33 and some change points per game. And they get somebody who's 38, and that's Garrett Riley. The guy just was in the playoffs.
And then what does TCU do?
It turns around and get my boy, Kendall Browse. Yeah. Kendall Browse. So those are great.
Good hire. Good hire with them.
Good hire. Exactly. Very, very good hire. I think they're going to mesh extremely well, Sonny Dykes and Kendall Browse. I don't necessarily see them going back to regain that playoff footing because I think that was kind of an anomaly and a lightning in a bottle type thing. Won a couple of close games, like our 1983 season for the Miami Hurricanes. I don't think they're going to sustain that. But
think about this, though.
He's not going to Ponce. He's not going to go to Ponce.
Correct. I didn't mean to get off the topic. Yes, you had a point there. Go ahead.
And that was it. I'm just applauding that move. I didn't think that was the big boy move necessary, and I'm glad that's not the direction. It wasn't as simple as Gaddis, you're fired, Ponce take over.
Yeah, because we thought that was going to be. I mean, I thought that was the natural move.
I believe a lot of us did,
but when it was successful.
When it's successful, but here's something else.
Not when it was a misery.
Hey, here's something else too, and I want to Larry Bluestein, phenomenal guy. Obviously, he has a podcast himself, and he basically wanted to blame Mario for the fact that hey, Gaddis and Ponce didn't necessarily get along. This is paraphrasing him, and that was Mario's job to kind of come in there and like mitigate the whole process. And I'm like, listen, sometimes relationships between human beings, it's fractionalized beyond repair. We can only do so much. You hope on Saturdays we get it done, right? And that's where I'm going to focus. I don't need you two to get along. As long as we're effective and we're doing this is what happens, right? And on that note, my recommendation for the name of the show is Piss on a Stick. Thank you very much. I'll be back.
He said piss on a stick.
Oh, my Lord. Piss on a stick.
Oh, my God.
All right, well, let me ask you this. So I was going to ask both of you, but I guess I'll just ask you.
Just ask me. It's fine.
So do you think Mario discussed any of this with Tyler? Do you think Tyler has been involved at all? I mean, Jake is transferred out now. Jake's in the portal. He's gone. I mean, do you cost him like 8 figures last year? Do you involve him in this? I mean, this isn't pro sports. I don't like, do you broach that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if you do. I mean, that's I don't know. I don't know their relationship. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's something that he stayed and didn't leave.
True.
You know?
True. But we don't know the reasons.
No, we don't.
Per se. I don't know. I mean, I would say if I were the coach, and obviously it's being really hypothetical. If I were the coach, I mean, I think I'd always want my quarterback to be involved on major decisions, but the reality is he's just a part of the team. He's the guy who's got to run the offense, but he's a piece to the puzzle. And the puzzle ultimately gets put together, and at the end of the day, whether it's 3, 5, 7, however many years down the line, ends up in a championship, it's my puzzle that I put together. And is Tyler a factor? I don't know.
Well, and I'm wondering, and I totally understand what you're saying, and I'm wondering if the now added influx or addition of a, imagined 6-figure salary for said player changes that equation at all. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because now there's a shitload of cash involved as well.
Right.
I mean, Tyler's pretty much guaranteed to be the starter. There's no competing for this job next year. His competition just walked out the door. Jakari's not going to be ready yet. This is, unless you go get someone in the portal.
Yeah, and realistically, there's a lot of people, I think, who asked or was curious as to why Tyler stayed. And to be quite honest with you, there's never been an official statement from Tyler or Tyler's camp
or Life Wallet
that he was staying.
Or any, yeah.
Now I think he got a new Life Wallet deal.
We believe he did,
but
it's been very hush hush.
But there's no official word. But let's just assume that he is staying because everything kind of points to that. So a lot of people questioned it. Why would he stay? Right? Especially there's no guarantee that Gaddis isn't going to be here. Gaddis potentially ruined his chances to be a first round pick. There's a number of things kind of rungs on the ladder as far as that goes. But the reality is that if he leaves and he goes somewhere else, he's got to compete for a job. No matter where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you want to say go to, and again, being purely hypothetical, I brought this up, a while back. Say he wanted to go play for Rhett Lashley at SMU.
Everyone else does.
Right? At that, it's crazy. So at that time, right, which was before when he would have made the decision prior to now, Mordecai was still there.
Mm-hmm.
Mordecai was a junior, put up some pretty damn good numbers last year. So Tyler would have to go compete. Right? Or if he's going to go to, I would imagine that Tyler would want to play for a big name school, right? Top competition. I don't think he wants to go backwards per se and go to a G5 school or whatever. So if he's going in that direction, he's got to compete. And there's no guarantee. Now, does he think he can win any job at any school that he picks if he wanted to go somewhere else? Of course. Would that factor into the decision on which school he would choose? Of course. Still no guarantee. That being said, it was almost as good as guaranteed that he would be the starter here next year, no matter what happened. He started at the top of the ladder. Nobody overtook him, right? You gave Jake an opportunity. We wish Jake well. He's going to Mizzou. He had his opportunity multiple times. Did not seize the opportunity. Jakari played well in a game and then obviously showed his lack of experience, for lack of better words. So who's going to take over? No one's beating Tyler out. Doubtful to go to the portal to get somebody else. Maybe now that Jake's gone, but they brought in Emery. Mm-hmm. So maybe they feel Jakari is good enough. Emery's capable as a number 3. It'd be nice to have somebody else, to be honest with you.
Peyton. Peyton's still here.
Peyton's still here. Hasn't left. So is he the 3? Whatever. He's guaranteed the gig, whether Gaddis is here or not here. Let's not forget that Tyler threw for 496 against North Carolina in the game where after they lost to Middle Tennessee State, they had the bye week, and apparently everybody got together and kumbaya'd everybody, and they put a game plan in place that would suit Tyler's strengths. Why that wasn't done prior to then, I have no idea. But he comes out and he throws for 496. They lose. And then Gaddis, after the game, says, we threw the ball too much. So for him to do that in that offense, under that play caller, shows you, it's miraculous, to be quite honest with you. So it shows you, he's your guy. He's your guy. Stop saying he's not. Anyone who thinks that the better quarterback just left, let me show you the stats on that. Like, knock it off.
All right, so here's my thing. And this is all complete just speculation, just from observations. So I believe that Mario has discussed all of this with Tyler. And I'll tell you why. So here's the way the NIL thing works, for those of you that aren't aware, is that while these players don't have agents, they do have advisors. And these advisors generally are also professional agents for pro players. So, and unless things have changed, Tyler's advisor is Drew Rosenhaus's agency, his NIL advisor. There's no way when you're getting advice from someone like Drew Rosenhaus, okay, there is not a chance in hell. We talked to him at the speedboat thing for Ruiz, and he talked about leverage then. There's no way that he wasn't advised by his advisors to use this leverage to either guarantee that there was going to be a different offense next year, and does that mean that the OC is fired, this or that or whatever? Because if not, I'm leaving. I guarantee there's no way in my mind that conversation did not happen between Tyler Van Dyke, and either him or his parents or his advisors, and Mario Cristobal. That conversation happened at least 60 days ago.
Well, what if it did? What if it wasn't necessary based on what I just said? Because he knows he can start here. If he leaves, there's no guarantee of anything.
Well, but if he stays, he's not getting drafted. Like, he wants to get drafted. Like, I mean, the reason why these
what if
advisors
he's with throwing for 496 if they can put that offense together.
Bro, we're talking about 8 figures.
I'm saying he did it once.
Yes.
Who's to say? And then everybody got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
True. As much as we want to bag on Gaddis, true. Everybody got hurt after that game, including Tyler. So who's to say that he can't do that in the scheme that Gaddis has in his mind, in Tyler's mind? That he can do that. We can put that together. So worst case scenario, if he's still here, I can still put together that type of offense, that type of production, especially if they can shore up the offensive line.
I think, I get what you're saying, but I think in Tyler's mind, he's thinking, bro, think about everything I had to do for me to do that in one game for an offense that averaged 19 points a game. And oh, by the way, we still lost that game.
Did lose. We lost.
I mean, so I just don't, man, I just don't see how that I just think, man, my mind has really turned that this is a pro sport now, or if you want to call it semi-pro, and that there's no way with the amount of money involved, especially at the quarterback position, that these conversations are not happening between the player, either his parents or his reps, and the head coach in these situations. And Ro, the question was, and we'll let you just go off here. I believe, speculating, nothing about this, but I don't see any way that if Gaddis is gone, that Mario didn't talk about this with Tyler Van Dyke first or his people.
I would agree. I mean, he needs to have the facts, right? And he needs to get the facts from his coach, and the head coach that he played for has to do the due diligence to give him the facts. Listen, you don't think Tyler Van Dyke's an attractive commodity if he goes into the portal? You don't think Tyler Van Dyke is going to have a nice valuation in terms of NIL potential if he goes into the portal? Of course he will. So before that needs to take place, and guys, we've done shows, we've done live shows, we know who represents him. And we can also attest to you too. You know who else thinks he has a low valuation in terms of last year in terms of his NIL? That company, right? That guy. He was like, you mean to tell me Nigel Pack comes in here and makes that money, and Tyler Van Dyke, who's on like some Heisman short list and a potential first round in NFL, doesn't? Come on now. Those are conversations that are having that. You know it's happening. So, of course, Mario's got to assure him. Mario came in the press conference and like, that's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the country. The superlatives reign supreme. You can't sit there and tell me if you feel that high about him then that you can't go into him and give him reassurances. Tyler, I'm going to get this right. We're going to put you in a situation. We had some bright moments last year. Just look at the North Carolina game last year. Kid threw for like 500 yards. Mario can go ahead. He's a great recruiter. We talked about this earlier, right? Before I just ran on that call, and if my eyes could talk. Anyway.
Oh, boy.
My mouth can.
Oh, boy.
But, oh, my goodness. Hold on. When I leave on a call, it's because it's bad.
Yep.
Right? I don't necessarily go on calls like this. But if I leave on a call that sounds that bad and I come back that quick, one of two things happen. It was not that bad and I got canceled, or there really wasn't much to do.
Oh.
Yeah, it's B in this case. Anyway, so yeah, I believe he had that conversation. I really do, and I think he trusts Tyler and he wants to keep. He had to recruit him to stay. That's the first recruiting battles he needs to win before ESD and then eventually NSD is to convince the kids on the roster that they need to stay. And I believe that happened. I do. Yes, I do.
All right.
Okay.
So we got man, you bring in someone like Lee to be the center and compete with Ja'Kai Clark and presumably win the job, but you'd like to think that you keep Ja'Kai for depth. Like, I mean, I love what the possibility of this offensive line, the starters, look like next year, but I'm not sure what's behind them.
Well, you got
all your starters from last year.
Well, not all of them.
Now, Ja'Kai Clark was Ja'Kai Clark and Campbell were starters.
And I did say, look, I think that this is a big loss. And oh my God, hammer got lambasted. That's not a big loss, guys. For what Toast just told you, for the purpose of depth, he was your starter last year, and let's not forget. Please, let's go back 18 months when Ja'Kai Clark came in, different offense, but when Ja'Kai Clark came in,
solidified it.
He started Tyler Van Dyke's Heisman run
and solidified the line.
100%. That offense changed overnight when Ja'Kai Clark got the starting nod.
And Corey Gaynor left.
That's correct. Corey Gaynor left because Ja'Kai came in and stole his gig. So they literally changed overnight and became one of the best offensive lines the second half of the season in the ACC. They started all 6 or 7 games together. Tyler puts up massive numbers, record-breaking numbers. And you guys think that's not a big loss for depth-wise. Sometimes I simply don't understand how some of y'all get through the day.
I will say this is a good move for Ja'Kai, and I support it based on the fact that Ja'Kai has always had this knock, right, of being slightly undersized. Okay? You got to understand something. In the Rhett Lashley system, Rhett Lashley, yes, he ran some man concepts. He ran some zone concepts. We'll keep it very simple at that. They favored more zone. So when you have a smaller lineman, typically they're favorable, especially if you could be quick. You could beat some guys to the punch in a zone system. What did Mario do? He came in. He wants to be a physical. He wants to impose his will. He went to more of a man gap style scheme. And obviously, I don't think Ja'Kai was really fit for that kind of a system as much. His numbers suffered. He battled through some injuries too. He had some hand injury issues, potentially other issues. Played hurt. I think that would be even in his own self-admission. I think it's a smart move for him to hit the portal. To me, boys, this is what the portal's made for. He's put a good 4 years in with the program, right? He sees the writing on the wall. He has 2 years of eligibility left because of the COVID year. You could turn around, take this pass, go somewhere, be a starter, one in which you're like, hey, listen, I know I'm guaranteed the gig because he could be here. He might get beat out by Lee. Good, strong chance that's going to happen. Now he's on the bench, but he has the potential to start his final 2 seasons. This is the new era. So, yes, I agree with you, Scoop. Big loss. But I also agree with the position or the position of Ja'Kai Clark to go ahead and transfer.
UMass, Maryland, Baylor, Mississippi State, Duke, Louisville, FIU, Temple, FSU, Tennessee, Louisiana Monroe, SMU, 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 SMU. Not exactly a who's who of Power 5 programs in tradition, but that's where our players are transferring to.
Mm-hmm.
And these were pretty much all 4-star players when they came in. And
yes,
they're not going to Power 5 schools, man.
No, but I have a theory on why.
Okay. And we got to throw in Missouri now because Jake went to Missouri.
I have a theory on why. And I agree with you. Not the who's who of the power programs in the country. But if they wanted to compete for a job, they could have just stayed here.
Yep.
They want to play. So they're going to go, my opinion, to schools with lesser talent than them, where their position is almost all but guaranteed that they're going to play. That's my take on it. Because otherwise they would just stay here for the most part and compete for a job.
Well, I tweeted out that the fact that you've seen so many kids opt to transfer out as opposed to stay and compete for gigs tells you every reason why this program has just been average for so many years.
I mean, there's truth and validity in that statement. Alonzo isn't shy about it. What it's going to take for this program to hit the next level, talent. You got to get superior talent. In order to take that next step, you got to be able to meet up with Alabama on Saturdays and Georgia on Saturdays, and you have the talent to go ahead in the trenches and win, and wide receivers and potentially win. And you just better hope your coaches bring your A game. I mean, that's what they're banking on. They want to up the talent in this place. So obviously, it comes at a cost. The more talent you're bringing in, listen, just going back, doubling back on Lee's situation. He's the third highest center, right? Graded center according to PFF. He's got a pass blocking grade in the 90s, run blocking grade in the 80s. Ja'Kai injured, I'm going to give you that. Pass blocking, run blocking in the 60s. You're going to get the talent. Ja'Kai's stud, Remington Award watch guy, talent. But now you're trying to up the talent even more. And you're gonna, and it comes at a cost.
But
what about Jake Garcia?
Well, no,
Jake
but
Garcia,
I mean,
same thing.
But I mean, Lee's not he's not Iron Man. I mean, he gets hurt, and what's behind him now? Oh, God.
That's the point.
Yeah,
was my point anyway.
All right,
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to do that, but at least we dodged a bullet because. Jaden Rashada got out of his
dude.
National letter of intent, and we dodged that bullet.
That's fun.
The latest
they can make fun of us.
Washington and ASU.
And look, and I saw the OBB tweet that. It was kind of typical. That is an individual, right? Jaden Rashada. I'm going to put this in plain English. That is the equivalency of a free agent asking for way more money than he's worth. You want to know why he doesn't have a home? That's why he has a home. Because the collective apparently offered him a lot of money, $13 million. Do you know what his On3? Because On3 does an NIL valuation. Do you know what the On3? Yeah. You know how much it was?
Yeah,
it was
$450 or something. Now, how accurate is the On3 valuation NIL process? Right? That almost seems like like they're making it up on the fly. However, $13 million. 450,000. That's not even apples to oranges. That's like apples to pianos.
Listen.
It's not even in the same stratosphere. It doesn't even make sense.
No,
you can't be asking 13 million and your valuation is saying you're 450.
There's no way. Dude, I don't care how much money what's his name in Tennessee got. There's no way whoever's paying that is getting a return on that investment of $12 million or whatever the fuck it is that he got over there.
No.
You're throwing if you put in an investment in one of these guys of $500,000 a year, if a business can see a return on that investment. You throw $3-4 million a year at them. There's no way, bro. These college players aren't big enough stars. Does anybody bro? The Cavender twins have more followers on social media than all the football players combined.
True. And say the schools again. And say the schools that he's linked to again.
Who?
What are the Rashada? What is he
it
linked
was
to now?
Arizona State and Washington. Washington's the favorite, apparently.
Okay.
I
had
tweeted out. OBB tweeted out. There was a tweet that went out from, I think it was Unnecessary Roughness, that he was visiting Arizona State. And then a minute later, there's another tweet from the same account that said that somebody reported that he's visiting Colorado as early as today.
Oh.
So what I was saying was you had the same account saying here that he's going to Arizona State this weekend. And a minute later, according to somebody else, showing that nobody has any idea what's happening.
Yeah.
No, but my thing is, okay, Colorado's in a unique realm of opportunity because of the whole video documentary series there and how they're getting money to players through however they're getting money to players. I don't know how that NIL works. If Amazon Prime's kicking into his series. And Barstool, you saw that. David Portnoy,
no comment.
Hey, are you? No comment. Okay. So obviously there could be something there. But if that's not happening, then you're looking at Arizona State. You think Arizona State is offering you $13 million, Jaden Rashada? You honestly think Washington is going to? Guess what your number is probably going to be closer to? $450,000. You shot your shot, bro. You missed. Not only did you shoot your shot from 3, you didn't even shoot it 2 feet. It got blocked. You're not going to sniff that money.
Well, but we're not going to blame him for this. He didn't say this is what I need to go to Florida. Florida offered it to him, right?
Right. But at the same time, what Scoop brought up last, you got to prove the funds, bro. Yes. I'm not going to give you the key for the $1 million thing to even look around. You're not even coming in the front door unless I know you have proof of funds. That's on you, bro. But I'm just saying it was laughable to even think that UF, which was a desperate move to offer that much, because I'm like, he's not worth it. Think about this. For $13 million, I'll ask you the question. For 30, if you're going to pay $13 million, it's not the option if you're going to pay $13 million. What are you expecting to pay a high school quarterback in college $13 million for? What would it take?
Undefeated, you never lose a game. I don't know. 4 national
I agree,
titles.
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what level, the absurdity.
Well, apparently, from what I was reading,
fuck-tardery, but different.
So from what I was reading, the Gator Collective, while they have the little subscription, there's also bull gators behind it that are prepared to, help fund some of this. And apparently that when the collective person made the offer of $13 million over 4 years and then took that to the bull gators, they just laughed. And are you fucking on crack, bro? Yeah, we're not funding that. So...
Because they have money, because they're smart with the money. And you don't think that they have people that are looking over that film too? I mean, come on now. I do this for semi-enjoyment, amateur purposes. I could have told you he's not worth that much.
Put it this way. From a marketability standpoint, if any quarterback in this year's class was going to get $10 million a year, there's only one that deserved it. Arch Manning. He has the name. You could put him in a commercial tomorrow. Even though he's not... Even though we all think he's overrated.
Because of his name.
Exactly. But that name is worth an NIL deal of 8 figures over 4 years. It's the only one.
In terms of talent, because I called him the Polynesian Trevor Lawrence, it's Nico Imaliva. Nico Imaliva is the talent that Arch Manning thinks he has, and he doesn't have. And it's so funny, too, because you said marketability. That's so true. $13 million for Jaden Rashada. He's not a personality willing of that. You got to have some personality too. Listen, you can be the greatest at something, but these guys that get paid buku dollars, like the LeBron James of the world, they got personality. You could do some stuff with them. You could shop them around their personality. You're not shopping around Jaden Rashada's personality.
Let's be honest. Jaden Rashada starts, endorsing a Gainesville area Ford dealer. How many cars is he really moving? How many cars are walking off the lot because Jaden Rashada was on a TV commercial? Come on. Just stop.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Just stop. Exactly. Great.
Anything else, boys?
Great segue.
Talk about our friends or any last tidbits you want to get in?
No, sir. I think we could talk about some friends.
Teddy Morse's Daytona Harley-Davidson. Now, is
talked
that
about
officially
he's
part
up
of
there
the
nonstop?
Huh?
Up there nonstop. He's been up there for
I know
2 weeks.
Is that part of the Ed Morse Automotive Group, or is it its own independent?
Don't know that.
Okay, all right.
I listen, don't know the answer.
Whether you want 4 wheels or 2, Teddy's got you covered through Ed Morse in all of the dealerships across the country, or you want to go ahead and get yourself a hog, go up to Daytona, the pinnacle, like the flagship Harley Davidson in the entire country, sitting right there. I guess the one there and the one out there in Sturgis. I'll probably buy that one next. But Ed Morse Automotive Group, edmorse.com, the price protection promise. They've been backed by, we've been backed by Morse since the beginning, and so have over 2 million people. So get backed by Morse. It is edmorse.com.
And we have to talk about the great people at Life Wallet. And before we get into the actual life-saving entity that is Life Wallet, hey, this just came out from John H. Ruiz, and we can circle back to the green tree. Today, we spoke with HKS Architects. We will have updated plans revealed at the UM Spring football game, which will take place in Broward. We'll have a full presentation. We'll be working with the UM and Dade County once the plans are out. And we're talking about a stadium update, people. Not only is he extremely active with the Miami Hurricane NIL product, very ambitious in trying to maybe get the future forever home for UM football. And Toast, we can't stop talking about it, Life Wallet. And obviously, true to us, Jason, longtime listener of the show, his father was able to use it. We wish you well, Jason. Hopefully Dad's doing much better. Saved his life.
Yeah.
Saved his life. It's amazing.
It is amazing. And the fact that you can support the Miami NIL program and possibly saved you or a loved one's life like that is just freaking, I mean, it's just golden. So check them out, lifewallet.com, and download that app at either the Play Store or the App Store. Tank, man, they are a brewing partner. We got to get an OBB beer. We got to get some sort of an orange citrus something going.
It's coming around that time, right? You would think it's a nice spring summery beer,
something light, Yeah,
that was on the docket. But you know what they do have on the docket? Loca and the Freedom Tower. And seasonally they have Frank the Tank. We love Frank the Tank because we have Frank the Cat and Frank the Me. So obviously that's going to be Frank the Tank. It's always going to be favorite what it is in its seasonal rotation. But obviously available at your Total Wine, Publix. Toast has gotten that deal done.
I've gotten that deal done at my local Publix. Went ahead and told the manager, yo, bro, it's on your list. Can you start stocking some Tank Brewery stuff? And they said, absolutely, man. Took out one of the ones from Tampa and threw Tank in there, baby. Let's go. Local.
Yeah, baby. Tank Brewery. Awesome partners to have. And great food, great venue, great spot. You can have like your lunches there. Phenomenal food, too. Phenomenal food. You know what else is phenomenal? Because I'm staring at it right now. They got a Miami Dolphins vintage logo classic starter jacket. It is remarkable. And kudos to Mikey, the wonder boy, the genius that is, Mike McDaniel, because he made a quick move.
Yeah, he did.
He realized his defense was trash, and he replaced the trash. But this jacket's not trash, and it's $149. And if you turn around and you spend over $99, it's the fastest shipping in the West. It's free shipping, and it's Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive, Davie, Florida, 33324. Do it.
Then I want you to go to Manscaped. I want you to arm yourself with promo code OBB. And I want you to take your right hand off the mouse. I want you to put it down your pants and just fondle your boys for a second there and just let them know that you love them. And then I want you to take your hand out, then maybe wipe it on your pants, and then put it back on the mouse, and then just browse through all the accoutrement they have for each of those testicles, whether it be the deodorant, whether it be the lotions, the salves. Oh, buddy, your balls have never been happier.
Thank you, Toast. Accoutrement?
I don't even know if that's a proper word. But OBB, promo code OBB gets you 20% off everything there. Everything there, including the clippers. That's right. Nut clippers.
Yeah, the lawnmower.
It's awesome. Safety strip on it. It's phenomenal. Also, you can use the OBB promo code, not only manscaped.com for 20% off, but also Creating Better Days. Our buddies there is still active. CreatingBetterDays.com. Get all your gummies and everything. Get euphoric. CreatingBetterDays.com. And two left, Scoop. You got some. We got some beating. Dude, Bookie is killing it. He went 10-1 on free plays, like his last 11 free plays.
I know.
Just
I told you last week. He put a tab at the top. Beatingthebookie.com. At the top, free plays. You can't miss it. And he's doing a free play a day on his site. And he's like 10-1 or 11-1 his last 12. He's killing golf already this week, the Amex Championship.
Owning college hoops.
And looking at in college hoops, just so guys, we tell you about that. We've been talking about this for a year and a half, but this run over the last 60 days has been just stupid.
Yeah, and he had a crazy run like this last year too.
Yeah, like it's wild.
He's posting. He posted a letter from one guy who started up with him, I guess, I don't know, the last couple of months or whatever, and is doing $100 units. That's his bet, okay. And he's up $4,000.
Oh, yeah,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a wild ride for him over the last however long, and on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, and I don't know if he's on Facebook or not. Anyway, at Beating the Bookie, follow along, get your free plays. He'll drop live plays on there too. So it's not just free plays. He drops off the live plays and all that stuff, and it's great, man. It's great. It's great if you're into that at all. Go on, get a package. Whether it's, you have, the NFL playoffs. I'm not sure how he's doing that, but certainly try to get in before that's up. But we're going to get into March Madness here pretty soon. The end of college hoops, into March Madness, the next 60 days in college hoops. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Get the package on beatingthebookie.com.
NFL playoff action continuing this weekend. One step closer to Super Bowl 57, NFL divisional round. All of those picks that you're getting from Beating the Bookie, you need some place to go ahead and place those bets. That's why you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code TPPN. New customers can bet $5 on NFL divisional games and get 200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And if you're in a state that does not have the daily sportsbook, you can use that same promo code TPPN for the daily fantasy and also get a very cool sign-on bonus as well there.
And admit it.
Five questions.
It bit me. Right. It bit me.
What was previously considered luxurious that is now considered normal?
$1 million home.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
An electric car.
An electric car.
I like that one too.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. An indoor toilet.
An indoor toilet?
They were in outhouses, baby, for a long time.
Oh my God.
Outhouses.
What is happening?
So, repeat the question one more time because I might have one more bonus.
Okay,
answer.
All right.
I just want to make sure.
What previously luxurious thing is now considered normal?
A Florida NIL deal. It's definitely not luxurious.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What is something you learned embarrassingly late in life?
I just had one of these.
Oh, I had one yesterday. And I'm pretty good at this stuff. So I am the guy, I'm the person in the house who handles the dishwasher. Right? Because of my OCD. I'll load it, just put it in the sink. let me load it. I don't need you loading it, and you can put, a quarter of the stuff in there because nothing fits right. You know what I mean? Like it's
My
it's
God, you're my
disaster.
father. My father's a dishwasher. Just
So just let me
Constable.
put it in the sink.
Mhm.
I'll load it. I'll unload it. I don't need anybody touching the dishwasher. Okay. Accidentally yesterday, I had, there's larger gaps, right? The bowls can go in or whatever. I realized yesterday accidentally that I usually put the bowls all in one line. And I'm always a little bit out of space. If I turn them around, I can get more in that tray. You know what I mean? So it's like open end, and then opposite side is open end. So they're like fitting better. And I thought to myself, how have I never figured that out before? This was yesterday. So today I put bowls in there and I did it the new way.
I learned later on in my life that certain news companies are as real as wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So it wasn't until I was like in my it was like late 20s or maybe even like 30 or whatever. I didn't realize that the cocoa plant and the cocoa plant were two separate plants. The chocolate and the cocaine.
Cocoa and coca.
I thought they were all, that was all the same. God, I thought you could make cocaine out of a plant before it became chocolate.
That's a good one.
I'm an idiot.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
All right.
It's good though.
Here we go. Ooh. Well, we've done something similar to this, but it's just phrased differently. I didn't have these questions in advance. Oh, here's a good one. I think we've done this also. Son of a bitch. We've done a lot of these questions, man.
5 questions.
We did what root beer is the best, right?
No.
All right. What root beer is the best?
Is birch beer root beer?
I would say that birch beer is a type of root beer, yes.
But that's not a brand.
Right, that's not a brand. So yeah, we can do the brand and because I love birch beer, bro.
Birch beer is so much better than actual root beer.
The best. But if I'm gonna have a root beer, I think I'm going with Barks.
Barks is like super, super carbonated, right?
In sweet. I like it better than A&W.
A&W feels it's like you didn't just swallow something. It's very strange. It's kind of like what's is it Breyers that never
Barks.
No, listen to me.
Oh.
It's kind of like the Breyers ice cream. Breyers ice cream never solidifies. Ever. You could put it in a dry ice container. That fucking thing, if you pull it out, it's out for 6 seconds. It's melted. It's never hard. The worst ice cream on earth. That's kind of like Barks, like you or A&W. You drink it, but it's like not even there.
Well, first of all, your slenderous claim that Breyers ice cream is the worst is terrible because the Breyers vanilla ice cream is the best thing on the planet in terms of vanilla ice cream.
It's never
it's always soft. It's always soft.
It's always
it's not normal.
Soft. It's
no
disgusting.
soft ice cream is amazing. Soft ice cream is amazing, and I have no answer. I have zero answer for this, and it's not because I'm not a willing participant.
Don't know them all.
I just hate root beer that much, and I don't drink it. So there's no way that I could ever answer root beer.
I'm pulling my back. I gotta change it. I gotta change it. IBC.
I think you're right.
Fucking IBC, bro. Yeah,
I think you're right.
IBC.
I think you're right.
I'm sorry. Yep.
I think you're right.
IBC is it.
Terrible.
Oh, it's not terrible.
All right. So, here's one. All right.
I got one too.
Okay.
And this is a serious question. We always do like fun, loving questions, but I'm gonna ask a serious question.
Oh fuck!
What massively improved your mental health? I'll go first since I asked it as a more serious, hard-hitting question. I'll tell you and I've been doing much better at this over the years. I'm legit thankful for what I have. I don't. If somebody tells me about somebody else's success, I don't look at it envious. I'm legit happy for your success. Whatever you relatively think your success is either greater or less to, I'm fine. I walk into my home, I am legit thankful for my home. Every time I walk in from work, I'm thankful. And it's helped my mental health a lot.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. I like that. Yeah, you got to be happy with where you are, because that's where you are. So I know that sounds dumb, but it's true. So I would say in my situation, being able to cohesively tie career and my daily existence better. For so many years, I was so segregated, the two of them. There was work and there was everything I did outside of work. And it was really, really, really tough mentally to be able to separate them constantly, because this falls into that too. So yeah, the ability to have that more of a cohesive unit has really helped my mindset.
For me, absolutely, I'd never realized, because I had always been working in that atmosphere, how toxic the corporate atmosphere I worked in was, and particularly a lot of the people that I worked with. And completely removing myself from that entire industry, after they, kicked me to the kicked me to the curb, just allowed me to see that. And yeah, I've been significantly a much happier person since then. It's there's been absolutely been challenges, but yeah, it's been, because now I don't have any of that toxic shit in my life anymore. None of those people are in my life anymore. It's phenomenal. Like the people in my life now there's no toxicity. Unless I go into the chat sometimes. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. And it just goes to prove why I'm never in there.
Oh man.
But I love it.
Yeah.
Like you can dive into there's so much great stuff going on in there.
Yeah, I'm only in certain channels.
Right. Like
you said it best too. You're like I don't have to be here. Roe's obligated because his name's on the channel.
His name's on the channel. I was like, I can't even imagine having a channel with my name on it.
Just so you know, X's and Roe was supposed to be like schematic change, like schematic talk, like cool plays. We share plays, but I had to like take one for the team. I'm like, all right, all the Gaddis talk is now into this channel. It is. I got to stand in the paint and take bullets. And some days I have off days. I'm like, you know what? You're so negative. You're bringing down my chi.
All right.
You're tearing down my spirit animal. Go ahead, Toast.
Last one. This is right up your alley, Ro. What classic video game deserves a remake?
Ooh, this is a fantastic question.
Even Scoop can play this one because he played video games as a kid.
Oh, yeah. I have so many ideas. I mean, some games have continuously went on to be remade from the Nintendo
it can't be one of those. It can't be one. It's got to be one that.
Yeah. I will say, and I can't count because they did this off-brand shooting thing. And it wasn't really a remake. But in the original Nintendo, there was a game called Kid Icarus. Right? It was and it was really not put together right. It was kind of like if you die, you're done kind of a thing. But if they kind of used the character pick, I believe it was, I think they can nail it. I think they can nail it in today's terms. Kid Icarus.
Scoop.
Excite Bike.
Ooh, that's a good one. Like an RPG based Excite Bike where you race tracks. I like it.
But it's left to right.
Yeah. Side scroll.
You can't remake it. It's 2D.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's right. It's like, oh my.
All right.
How good was that? Okay.
I'm going old. Oregon Trail.
Jimmy's died of typhoid fever.
I mean, he's just a graphic remake. I mean, he could totally, it's a whole new world now. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah. So Kid Icarus, Excite Bike, and Oregon Trail. Yeah. I like it. Strong.
There we go. All right.
That's good.
Questions.
That's the show, boys. A rare Friday night episode.
Yeah.
What are we naming this thing?
Well, just so you know, when I asked you the serious question, the other question right behind it, I didn't know if I wanted to go serious but I could say it now is, what are we thinking when hairdressers' boobs accidentally touch our shoulders? But
my answer, Toast won't mind.
Yeah.
All right. So to name it, Piss on a Stick. However, I do want to interject a new one because
I have a new one too, actually.
Dishwasher Constable. That's a strong choice too. Oh my God, you're such like my dad. He was such a dishwasher. I'm like, you're gonna say Nazi, right? Because everybody says everything's a Nazi. Dishwasher Constable. Constable. Oh, all right, writing that down. Okay. Scoopy.
I think that's better than mine. I said, you said apples to pianos.
I just thought of the first random thing that came in my head. All right, so we got Piss on a Stick, Apples to Pianos, and Dishwasher Constable. Toast.
Yeah, I kind of like Dishwasher Constable.
I do.
All right, I do too.
That. We'll bang that one out. All right. So next week we'll record this thing again, and will there have been any more staff changes?
Oh God.
I think so.
Yeah.
Some people in the know think it's happening, but you never know until you know.
I thought, because I'm all but sure that he's not going to be here, I thought it would definitely happen by today.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we were waiting so long.
That's why we didn't do it last
night. That is one reason why we didn't do this yesterday.
We were wishing, man. We were wishing.
We got a hedge.
We're trying to will it.
I mean,
all right. Well, there you go. We'll see what happens.
Figure it out. I hope so.
Hope everyone has a phenomenal weekend and enjoy the NFL playoffs. We'll see you next week. As always, go Canes!
Yo! Bang.
That's another episode in the books. The Orange Bowl Boys are brought to you by Ed Morse Automotive Group. Visit edmorse.com.